Hi everyone, this is the video tutorial for the BAMP 2 cover, and it's for on behalf of CFG minis. Right, now depending on what size you've done your BAMP 2, you're going to need to cut your covers. Now I've made mine pages for my BAMP 2 at 8 by 8, so I've done my covers. I've cut 2 at 8.5 by 8.5. If you've done yours 6 by 6, then you're going to want to cut it 1/2 inch bigger all the way around. That will give you 1/4 inch leeway. Okay, and the same for the other one. Now don't cut your spine yet until you've decided how big you're going to want your internal construction spine. Now I've done mine so that I've got 1/2 inch gap in between the pages. I find this easier because where the pages are so thick, let me just grab one. Where the pages are so thick, you're going to want something fairly substantial because you've still got, you put your papers and your photographs on the top yet. So I need to find my, that way round, I need to find my pocket, which is just there, so that when it slips over the top, you're still going to have plenty of room. Okay, it will go. I just need to sort that out a bit. Right, so to do this spine, you are going to need it's a good quality cardstock. Now for this demonstration I'm just going to use some plain white. There's no point in me using anything else. So I will grab a sheet of this. Right, so as I said, I've determined that I'm going to want 1/2 inch both ends and in between. Now these are 1/2 inch too, so if you could take that and they're folded together, so that's 1 inch, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's 6 inches plus 1/2. So we've got another 1/2, 1, 1/2, 2, 1/2, 3, 1/2. So that works out at 9.5 inches. Okay, so you're going to want to cut your card in 9, so it's 9.5. And then you're going to want to cut it so it's the width, the drop of your, same as this. So it's going to be 8.5. So I need to cut this down to 8. No, it doesn't need to be 8.5, does it? It's less because it's got to be fit into the pages. Sorry, I'm just not with it this morning. Now my pages are 8, so I'm actually going to trim mine down to 7 7/8. Okay, so next you're going to want a school board. Then you're going to want to score every 1/2 inch. Now what I do, because you're going to be doing valleys and peaks, mountains and valleys, you're going to do the first one and then you're going to go jump to, so you're going to do 1/2 inch, then you're going to do 1.5, then you're going to do 2.5, 3.5, and so on right the way down. So it's first of all it's 1/2 inch and then it's every inch after that. You could do every 1/2 inch if you wanted, and then what you're going to do, that's it, you're going to flip it over, and then you're going to do the next one, you're going to do it 1 inch, then at 2, then at 3. So you're going to be able to, if you do it this way, when you come to fold it into your valleys and your peaks, it's going to be a lot easier. 8 and 9. Okay, and that's all you have to do for that. Right, now you're going to come to fold it. Now what I do, I always fold where you've got the ridge that sticks up. You're going to fold that in, because if you fold it the other way, it does actually weaken the joint. So I'm going to fold at 1 inch, then I'm going to miss one, then I fold again, then I'm going to miss one, fold again, miss, fold, miss, fold. And you do this all the way through. So these are going to be your mountains. Let's see, fold, miss, fold. Right, so now you've done that, you're going to go the other way and you're going to fold again, miss, fold. So you're going to be now folding your valleys. Go right to the ends. You can use a bond folder for this. This is just for this demonstration. I'm just going to finger fold it. Okay. Right, now when you've done that, what I like to do, if you flip it over to the back and just mark, actually, no, you want, yes you do, just mark where you're going to put your tape. So let me think, maybe I got it around the right way. Yeah, so actually it's this side I'm going to need to mark. So I'm going to miss the first one, then I'm going to mark, then I'm going to miss 2. That's right, that folds up like that, miss, yeah, miss 2, and then I'm going to mark again, miss 2, mark, miss 2, mark, miss 2, mark, miss 2, mark. Okay, then you're going to get your tape. And you're going to put your tape or glue, it's up to you what you use, down on that one mark that you made. You don't need to put it on both sides. And you're going to want to do that all the way along. Now when you've done that, you then peel back, taking off the back of the tape, and then you're going to fold that over, and that forms your first hinge, and that will be where your page sits over the top. Then you want to keep going all the way along, and then the next one, making sure that you fold over the right one, not like I did the other day and I ended up folding over the wrong one. I got myself in the right state. Right, so then you've got your other one, then that's gonna, this is where you can now use your bone folder just to reinforce those joints and open them up. So you're then going to fold that one and that one, and then you just keep going until you end up with that. Okay, this is the hidden hinge system that Kathy Alter did. Right, so when you've done that, you can now measure. I'm going to use it by using my marks on my mat, and that gives me 1, 2, 3 and 7/8. Now I've cut my spine. Should be. Oh, what's wrong with that? Why hasn't that? Oh, that's not quite right. Right. So that is then going to sit on there like that. You could actually make it a little bit smaller, this is a little bit wider if you want. So I'm just going to cut myself another piece at 8.5 by 4. So 2 secs. Oh. 8.5 by 4. There we go. Right. So that should now, yeah, that sits on there nicely like that. Okay. Right, now we're going to put it all together. What you're going to want to do is to get your covers. Now, you can, if you want, and I mean, you've probably seen this on lots of mini albums that have been made, you could actually do a wrapped cover. If you're going to do a wrapped cover, you're going to want to get your paper you're going to be using, and you're going to want to cut it, when you come to do the side bits, you're going to want to cut it 1/2 inch round, further round, so where this is 8.5, you're going to be cutting your paper at 9.5 all the way around. Okay, but first of all we need to do the spine. So for the spine I'm going to use this red. Now I know that that's 4 inches, and what I want to do, I want to have the gap, but then I want the paper to come over another inch, so it gives me a nice, the cover on the front will be like that, and then I'll have an inch coming over from the spine on that side. Okay, right, so I need to cut my paper down. We know that's 4, so I want to do it, so it's 4, 5 one side, 6 the other side, and then I'm going to want to account for the gap, so that's going to be 4 1/4. Right, so that's 4 1/4, 5 1/4, 6 1/4. So it's 6 1/4 by the 8.5. Right, so maybe 8.5 that way. I'm not actually doing a wrapped cover for this one. I'm taking it just to the edge of the chipboard. What did I say? 4 1/4, 5 1/4, 6 1/4. Here we are, like that. Right, so now when you've got that, if you want to ink your edges, now's the time to do it. I'm not going to bother with mine, so flip that round. Then I'm going to attach this to the centre of my paper. Now, how I'm going to do that is I'm going to use PVA glue. I can find it. You can use tape or whatever glue you like, you find it works best for you. This does dry pretty quickly, so I'm not too worried. Just need to be able to get into it. There we are. Come on. I haven't used it for a while, so it's got a nice big bung in the end. Right. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to run glue. She says. There it comes. All the way around the outside edge, and then down through the middle. And then I'm going to sit that on the centre. If you use your grid, or if you haven't got the grid, you could mark it with a ruler. So I'm going to lie that down, centre, like that. Actually, it should be about there, shouldn't it? That's it. I mark that there, 1/8 of an inch either side, and then centre that. I'm just going to flip it over, give it a good burnish down. Now, some people like to put tape on the edges because that's where the most stress is going to be. You can do that if you like, but I really need to get this video done, so I'm not going to bother. But what you would do is you would put your tape on the edging. Right, now what I'm going to do, that is now going to sit against there like that, and I'm going to leave 1/8 of an inch, which just so happens to be the thickness of my ruler. Now to apply this, I'm not going to use glue, I am actually going to use tape, and I'm going to run tape on the edge, right up to the edge of my cover, and then the other one I'm going to run on the edge of my paper. Good burnish down. You want to do that on both sides. And on the other cover, I've got this flaming blue bottle that keeps flying around. After I finish this, I'm going to go and get my swat and swat it. Right, so what you're going to do is you're going to peel back. And then the other side. Right. And you're going to get your ruler, or you could make yourself a shim. And then that right up to the edge. And then you're going to push edge of the paper right up. And then you're going to stick down. Then that means you can fold that nicely up. That gives you plenty of room. And then you've got that comes over, wraps around. And then do the same on the other side. Taking care that you've got your pattern, if you're using a pattern paper, that the pattern's going the right way. Same before, your shim or your ruler, edge, push and down. And there we have the makings of our album. Okay, now the next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to cover the outside. Now, how I do that is I'll just get my paper. Where's the one I was using? Where's that gone? Oh, I'll just grab one, any one will do. So then you're going to line up. Don't forget, this only works if you're going doing edge to edge, not a wraparound. Line up that on there. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to use tape for this. So I'm going to run tape down that. And then all the way around. to order some more score tape because I've run out. There we go. Peel off. Now I'm going to line that up against the edge of the spine. Done there. It doesn't matter if it's not right because you can always put an edging down, but make sure that it goes to the edge, which mine didn't there. Stick it down, and then all you're going to need to do then is get your craft knife and run it round. Like that. So now you've got front done like that. Okay, now what you're going to need to do for you can do exactly the same. You're going to do exactly the same on the back, and then when you come to do the inside, what you're going to need to do is do these side pieces first, and then you're going to want to do your spine the same width as this piece. Stick it over exactly the same, and then gently, oh, excuse me, fold up. Okay, I'm not going to do that now because I haven't got the time, but I'm going to show you how to put your spine in. So smother it in glue all the way over the back, or whatever you want to use. Tape. I'm going to use glue for this. Come on. Make sure you get the edges because you don't want it to lift. It's going to take a lot of bashing, I should think. Then you're going to line that up in the centre. So you're going to centre it on the spine, top and bottom, and edge to edge. And then give it a good burnish down. Now, you want to leave this to dry thoroughly if you're using glue before you go putting your pages in. I haven't got time for that, so right, when that's dried and you're happy with it, then what you want to do is to start putting in your pages. So that's that one. Right, now to do that, what I like to do is I just like to nick off the corners. So you're just tapering these corners. You see, like that. So I've just tapered these edges up. That makes it a lot easier to slip your pages over the top. Make sure you've got your page around the right way. You find where your pocket is. Then what you need to do, it's entirely up to you, but I would use wet glue. So you see mine's not stuck down. So you're going to put wet glue on either side, or if you've got a good strong tape, you could use that on either side of this hinge. Then you're going to gently slip. I'll get it open. Slip your page over the top. And it's not as easy as it looks. Oh dear. And that slips over the top like that. There we go. There we are. And stick it down. So give it a good rub down on each side if you're using glue. And I would leave that holding up the edges. I would put that to one side for about 10 minutes, depending on what glue you're using, just to let it cure. Okay, and you keep doing that until all your pages are in, and then your mini is complete. Just show you again the one that I made. Okay, so this is what I'm making for my one of my grandchildren. So you've got the pocket that flips out there, and then there's the pocket there. As you see, I've still got a lot to work on it yet. So that's 1, 2. As you see, by having the 1/2 inch gap, you've got more than enough room there to add all your bits and pieces. Okay, and then you just add all your pockets, and then that's finished. Now for a closure, I haven't bothered with this. It's entirely up to you. You could even, I might even, when it's finished, I might put a belly band around it. I haven't decided yet. But I think when you come to doing ones as large as this, you don't really need to have, because the weight itself will hold it closed. Okay? Right, ladies, I hope you enjoyed that little series. You'll be able to catch more videos of mine over on my own channel. Thanks a lot, guys. Have fun. Bye.